Hi, Tracy Bates here for S&IArsenal. I'd like to talk to you today about reloading. This is my second video about reloading. In the first one we talked about where you're going to do your reloading at. Today let's talk about the equipment you're going to need to get hold of to get started. Now if you have the resources, several of the manufacturers make complete kits to get you started. Set up with a press, your powder measure and powder scale, tools to trim the cases, and priming tools. Now if you don't have the money to start out that way, you can buy used or mix it with new and used items. There's nothing wrong with that. As an example, I bought this Pacific die set from a gun show about 8 years ago. I paid about $12 for it. Now Pacific was a big name back in the 50s and 60s for reloading, so it was good quality components. Just give it a quick inspection and look and make sure someone didn't use vice grips or channel locks on the lock ring or on the hex nut. If it looks like it hadn't been abused and there's no corrosion down inside, probably a good safe bet you can buy a good set of used dies for a real inexpensive price. Now if you're reloading bottleneck or rifle cases, you're going to need a 2-die set. But if you're doing handgun cartridges, you're going to need a 3-die set. When you buy a 3-die set, I'd strongly recommend buying a carbide set. The carbide dies allow you to reshape the brass without using a lubricant, which makes it a lot faster and takes away some of the mess. Now, after you resize the case, you're going to need to have a priming tool. There's several handheld ones out there that make it real easy to fill the primer go into the pocket, which is pretty critical so you know if you've had any primer pressure problems with your cases. Lee makes the auto prime. If you buy a press set, a lot of them come with a ram prime type setup, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's a little slower, but it still gets you fixed up. And of course, I recently picked up a RCBS APS priming tool. This one's a press mounted, and it uses the CCI primers in the plastic strips. And of course the advantage of this, your fingers don't touch the primer, so the oil on your hands don't contaminate the primers. I picked up these primers at Wideners.com, which has a lot of reloading components on their website. Now once you get the press and the die set up, then you can get, and then you've got your priming tools, then you want to look at a good powder measure. I'd strongly recommend using a digital scale along with your powder measure so you can check your load. You can eventually spend the money and buy, like this Hornady digital scale and powder measure component, but you don't have to have that when you get started. You can start out with a good digital scale. This one here cost me $20. You can find them all day long for less than $30. You also want to get you a good caliper so you can measure your case length, measure your overall length after you've reloaded. It's pretty critical. You can buy like the digital version at Harbor Freight for $20 or so. This is an old dial style, still works. Might be able to pick up something like that at a swap meet too. The main thing is to get started reloading. Don't let price hold you back. Scour the gun shows, go to the gun shops, look on armslist.com. Even Craigslist sometimes will slip in a few reloading items they don't pick up as being firearm related. The main thing, like I said, is get started. Reloading is a great hobby and it's a great way to recycle and a great way to save money on your ammo and hopefully give you a little more money to go spend shooting, which is what it's all about. I want to encourage you to stop by S&IArsenal.com and check out the blogs there. There's quite a variety of subject matter, and hopefully you'll find something of interest to you. Also, I want to encourage you to stop by Wideners.com for your reloading components. I've found quite a few things there that other people didn't have. They've got also ammunition, which if you're not into reloading, you can find the ammo maybe you're looking for. I was there just today, and they have a lot of 9mm as an example. So, Wideners.com, S&IArsenal.com. Hey, thank you for watching the video, and next we'll be talking about some of the more specific tools for reloading. Thank you, and have a good day.